I'm looking to believe you.
So what you're saying, it was an electrical fire, right?
Total electrical fire.
Total electrical fire.
Where's your pants, Joe Jack?
So we have a couple options. Reboot or Beast Wars. That's what I was kind of in between. I landed with Reboot. We'll see how this goes.
Might have to reboot the episode if it gets bad. Yeah, it's going to be those kind of jokes.
Electronic Arts, Mainframe Entertainment, you get it?
Right.
Reboot takes place in the city of Mainframe. It's just some weeb's computer is where it takes place, right?
But before we get into all that, explain to the nice people out there your reasoning behind
My role here?
behind this episode.
Oh.
We played Sam and Max Hit the Road.
Yes.
Which people liked. So we played it again because we thought there was more 90s fun stuff we could talk about.
Right.
Less people liked that.
And by the third episode, people were like,
nobody liked that.
Do something else.
Nobody
do
liked
something
that.
else.
But we love the 90s.
And a specific part of the 90s are CGI animated TV series. And there weren't many of them.
So here we are. There's this and there's Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Those are the two that spring to my mind. There's a lot of live action ones in the 90s, but they didn't spawn as good at games.
So the goal of this game is you're supposed to stop tears that pop up within the city. And it's very strange because it's like incoming tear. And I'm like, oh, I get it. It burns. It hurts.
And just to be a real stickler, go ahead. Open the actual show.
Yeah. Welcome to Watson&James Don't Play. My name is James.
And I'm Reboot.
I was going to say my name is Dot Matrix, but I was like, nah, I'm James.
I would have had to say Printer then.
I'm not an attractive lady from a computer show.
It's always interesting to me that I know in some way you're going to say, welcome back to Watson&James Don't Play.
Sure.
But I'm always like, what curveball little tagline is he going to throw?
I could have said, my name is Dot Matrix, and this is my co-host, Okadata.
We could do a modicum of preparation and actually come up with a little bit.
We could.
But I like the witty repartee that's just off the cup that our audience has come to know and love about us.
Repartee is a fun word. This game doesn't start with jump being X. You have to move it.
We have a fun little tete-a-tete.
Oh, we have fun.
Yeah, we have fun.
Yeah. The game doesn't start with jump being on X, so you have to move it to X.
I like, though, that you get to fire your weapon with X, because that's like, yeah, that's what you want to do.
Not necessarily, though, because you want to jump with X, right? You want to fire the weapon with square.
You say that with an adult, knowledgeable brain and a fully formed frontal lobe. I'm talking like a 12-year-old kid booting up Reboot for the first time. You're like, yeah, X fires the weapon, let's go.
There's no proof that my frontal lobe is fully developed. There's no one has ever seen my brain. I've never done a brain scan. No one's ever checked. It's assumed that it is because by the age of 25, 27?
Yeah, that's what the science says.
The science says, be. Yeah, you should be fully developed. I don't think I am.
I mean, honestly, I've been complimented by older men on how well developed I am for years. So, I think I'm all right. I got it going on.
Wow, you're so slender and thick.
Nubile is what I get a lot.
I was scrubbing toilets last night at 9 p.m., so I am not okay.
You are.
My frontal lobe was not fully developed, or it developed way too much. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Either I'm an insane genius or deeply disturbed, mentally ill person. I'm thinking it's the latter.
Time will tell. I think time will tell.
Yeah.
I did have a moment where I felt like a productive adult the other day where I bought, and then here's the thing. It's not that I bought the chlorine bleach tablet thing for the toilet. It's that I remembered to, on the same day, put it in the toilet.
Do you have the kind that stamps to the side of the toilet?
No.
Or is
God,
it
what is it, a trailer park? No.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, that's
hangs
right.
on the side of it.
People who have the little blue bubble sitting there, you're trash.
The stamp.
You garbage.
That's your trash stamp. Your toilet trash stamp.
Lift the back and put it in the top tank.
Put it in the top tank.
A real person.
Upper decker it. Upper decker your chlorine tablet.
Exactly. Which I think it is just straight up like bleach or whatever. But I was proud of myself for not getting the tablet and then just putting it under the sink when I got home and forgetting about it.
Right.
Until the next time I had to clean my toilet, and I'm scrubbing it going, oh yeah, I have bleach tablets under the sink. God damn it.
Oh, here's the in-game graphics. Oh, it's awful.
They're going to hit like a fucking freight train.
I'm proud of you, though. I'm big fan of toilet maintenance. I think when you clean a toilet, it's important to get the underside where the goo kind of drips down. All right? We're just gross people.
People
it's
are
gonna
gross.
Happen. We're fucking disgusting.
Bathrooms are gross. Get in there with some CLR and some scrubbing bubbles. Yeah. Whatever you got to do.
Hang on. Bob has a gun.
I kind of don't hate
straight
this.
up. He's got a fucking 9.
Now,
I thought he had glitch. That was his weapon. Glitch turned into a gun
for video game purposes.
Right.
Now, I wouldn't call this a hoverboard, but I love this, and I forgot about this little mode of transportation that he has, these 2 little discs that are connected.
It is cool, all right? Here's my issue with the mode of transportation in this game. It's always on the hoverboard. You're never off the hoverboard.
It reminds me of pod racing, the way the 2 things are, like, tethered together.
Yes, they're just kind of stuck together.
Yeah.
But this should be a spot where you could run around, right? It's not a huge area, but no, you're stuck to the fucking...
it's like a shitty skate park.
It's a shitty skate park. That's what they were going for. So it came out in 98. That's right when Tony Hawk was...
It's to the extreme, bro.
So you're just always on...
Capital X extreme. They don't even put the E.
You even hold the X button down to jump?
For fucking nerds. They're like, no, start it with X.
Extreme.
It takes up half the box, and then Treem is, crammed into one part of the X. That's how much it takes. Remember how the 90s graphics were?
Yeah.
We're looking at some right now.
I was reading about why things move the way they do on PlayStation 1 games, and I can't really explain the details.
Like the physics engine they actually used?
The physics engine, it was basically... They half-assed it.
Oh, no.
That in short, the reason it looks shitty is because they didn't try hard enough. Whenever they were making the PS1, they're like, you know what? We could make this better, but I think that if they made it too good, it would end up being one of those consoles like the 3DO or Neo Geo or something like that, where it's like $700 and inaccessible for normal people.
Why? Tell me this, James. Why has every story about the development of a video game console, an arcade machine, all that stuff, anything that has to do with video game technology, why is it always on the worst, most rushed deadline you've ever heard, and they're putting out basically half a product?
It's always been that way. I think it's
always been that way.
I think it's getting a little better. I think the industry is improving just a little bit, but there aren't many unions in game development. Maybe there are more now. I don't know.
I know a big one. What was it? Bethesda just unionized? One of the big ones did.
Okay, I don't know.
But that was now. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
I'm talking about, whether it's the famous E.T. game for Atari that they had to get out in time for the movie, that flopped real hard, or even this game, which is like, who told them that they had to do it crappy?
If you go back and watch some of the credits for, let's use a big one, Super Mario World on Super Nintendo.
Okay.
If you watch the credits for that game, you realize that there aren't many real names. They're all code names. Everybody was worried about people being sniped. So companies wouldn't let people use their real names in their credits. They had to make something up.
Sure.
Because they didn't want to lose them.
I mean, that makes sense.
And it does make sense, but it's so dehumanizing.
Weird. It's so weird because you always hear about these games being made, on such a time crunch and such a budget and all that stuff. But somehow they're also worried that these people are going to get poached. Like, I'd be worried too if I was working my game developers super hard.
Something kind of happened.
Very little money.
My first radio job was a real radio job.
Mm-hmm.
The subsequent ones were for, I would call them more like small business type independent radio stations where it was just one station.
Yeah, independent stations.
But my first one was like an actual radio group in like a city that you might, a big radio group. Anyway.
Yeah.
And there were 6 stations there. They made me come up with a stage name, and I had to sign a non-compete.
Yeah.
And the non-compete was like a year, and it was a shitty non-compete, meaning, so they laid me off whenever the recession hit in 2008. Me and like 6 other people lost their job that day. It was bad.
Yeah, that's
everybody
pretty big
was
for a radio station to just all at once.
to just fucking gut everybody.
Yeah.
I'd only been there for like a year and a half. Obviously, I'm on the chopping block.
Yeah.
I'm doing midnights on a fucking country radio station.
Seniority wise, you're pretty far down on the totem pole.
I was pretty fucked. But I signed a non-compete because I was, 19, 20 years old. I didn't know anything. I just said, I get to work at a radio station. I'll do anything you tell me to.
Right.
I'll do anything you say. I'll sign whatever dumb shit you want me to sign.
In essence, you made it. You're in your desired profession. At least you're in the door. So, yeah. In your mind, it's all up from there.
I'm good. It's nothing bad could ever happen.
Yeah, you're just going to start your career and advance, from there. And it's great. It's a launching pad.
Shit went sideways. They laid me off. And
also, you were trying to start a radio career in 2008. Let's put that into a little bit of perspective.
Again, I was 19. I shouldn't have been allowed to make these choices on my own. But
I say this as a printmaking major.
They said go to college, and I said what for? Doesn't matter. Just go to college. You'll be okay.
There will be jobs, and if you go to college, you'll be able to get said jobs, and then pay off the college. That was the pitch.
It worked for me. I went to basically a broadcasting trade school. It was comparing it to like a 4-year university, it was a nothing loan. It was like, 9 G's. So I could knock that out. I did knock that out, luckily. And I did work in radio for a while. But it sucked having a non-compete, though, because I moved 4 hours away from home.
Oh, to get out of that?
To get the job.
Oh, to get the job in the first place.
To get the job in the first place, they said, all right, well, there's a job, across the state. That's the one you're going to get. It's a really shitty job. You're going to be paid less than minimum wage if you do the math, which I was. And I said, whatever. My foot's in the door. I'm going to be a DJ. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
So there I was, stuck in a town 4.5 hours away. My lease was not up for another 6 months.
Oof.
I couldn't get a job at the competing radio station across town because I signed a non-compete. Oh, I was fucked. I was so fucked. And it was weird. At that point, so I'm 21 at this point.
It's weird that there isn't like a contingency in those non-competes for it's an industry layoff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I had to threaten legal action to get my fucking vacation time.
Oh, okay. So
it was bad.
Yeah, that is.
It was really bad, and I grew up really quick.
Sure. Sure.
And I'm all right.
Yeah,
it all worked out.
Life goes on.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
But looking back on that, I learned a lot about work and employers and how to maintain that professional relationship.
Sure.
You're not a family.
Right.
You're not a fucking family.
Boundaries are important.
If you're ever interviewing for a job and they go, we're a family here, just leave.
We work
just
hard.
Walk out the fucking door.
We work hard. We play hard. That means everybody does coke and is a functioning alcoholic.
And if that works for you, great.
We're a family. It means you're going to be overworked and not compensated for it. They're just going to take advantage of you.
Like people take advantage of Bob the Guardian in Mainframe. No one can do anything themselves. They say, get on the hoverboard, save us. Can I get off the hoverboard? No.
And Bob will whisper back, no.
No.
But these are just, toxic places that will drain your soul. And bosses will do that. Because at the end of the day, it is about the money. Whatever anybody tells you about careers, jobs, and satisfaction and fulfillment and all that stuff, that's all great. At the end of the day, for 95% of people, jobs are about making money. About paying their bills, about being able to raise a family, or whatever. That's what it's about. So make sure that you're maintaining what's important in life, which is the family and all that stuff. It's not the job.
Yeah, your family. Maintain your family.
Right.
Use the job. Have the job. We need fucking jobs. We need money.
But, I want my family to be my family, my coworkers to be my coworkers.
And that's fine.
That's the way it should be.
If you happen to really get along with your coworkers, even better.
What's that John Mulaney bit where he talks about people who say, "Oh, my mom is my best friend." Oh, is she a super bad mom? Same thing. You want your boss to be your boss, not your buddy, right?
Ideally.
Although technically, you kind of are my boss.
Yeah.
Technically.
And
I don't think it would ever matter. Not really.
Not really. I think it's because, we've known each other for a really long time.
Something would have to go drastically off the rails.
Yeah. Like I don't have, but I got a pretty good handful of friends that I've known for, more than a decade, some 2 decades.
Humble brag.
And none of them I would just write off.
Right.
For it'd have to be really
it would have to get real bad.
Right.
Real purposefully like malicious or something.
And there's been some really fucked up shit that's happened in my little circle of friends.
Yeah.
And we're still all friends. So I don't know. I think someone would have to kill someone.
Yeah.
I think that's what it
blame you.
And blame me, right.
Right. Because I wouldn't write someone off for killing someone necessarily.
It kind of depends.
Talk to me. Have you been my friend for 20 years? All right, talk to me.
Walk me through the circumstances.
Yeah.
What happened?
Make me believe you.
Right.
I'm looking to believe you.
So what you're saying, it was an electrical fire, right?
Total electrical fire.
Total electrical fire.
Where's your pants, Joe Jack?
You got a sprinter, 5'5", no pants, unkempt, portly.
All right, so we got to talk game for a moment here.
No, we don't.
This is a tear, and I'm mending the tear.
You're mending the tear.
But it sucks me in, and it damages me when I touch it, so you got to, scoot back on your hoverboard. You could just plant your feet on the ground.
Nope.
You could just get off the hoverboard.
Not in Mainframe City or whatever.
Just get off the hoverboard, stand on the ground, turn your thing on, and you don't have to,
yeah, but
fight.
Look at that sick little, plant move he did. That was
That little
dope.
thing?
No, it wasn't quite that.
He has a car.
There it is. Yeah. Bam.
He has a car that he works on in the show. It's like his baby, right?
Yes, that is the big plot point, is that he's always with that car.
He is on this thing sometimes. If they have to,
That's what I was going to say. I remember it vaguely. When I saw it first pop up, I was like, oh, yeah, he has that little mode of transportation that's not quite a hoverboard.
He's not driving. He's not flying across the city in this thing. But, if he's on an adventure and he needs to get up a few floors quickly, okay, fine. Bust out the hoverboard. But
yeah,
this is a flat concrete floor.
It's like Boba Fett's jetpack. Yeah, he's got it, but he doesn't just use it all the time.
I'm so hung up on
It's a couple strategic blasts,
the mode of transportation. And you have to platform on this stupid little hoverboard. I hate it.
I just think that if you're making a video game and you're trying to...
You need a gimmick.
Not even a gimmick. When you're programming it, it's
look at
a
his face.
lot easier to program something that doesn't technically touch. It just kind of glides over, than mapping an environment to where that you could crawl and climb all over.
Look at his dead eyes.
Do you know what I mean? That's got to be harder, right?
All right, I'll play the game.
Super dead eyes. I wholeheartedly agree. But you know what I mean? I think they were just if we put him on this thing, then we need to just leave him on it.
Just leave him on it.
Because transitioning is going to be a nightmare.
Well, it's going to be hard to move around. So how do you think... What is he going to do? Punch stuff? He didn't really punch stuff in the show. He used glitch. What do you do with glitch? Sometimes he had a buzzsaw. Give him a gun.
And what are the levels? The levels are essentially warehouses full of computer parts.
So far, the next one.
You don't want to run through all this constantly. You want to at least glide through it. I think they're trying to help you.
They are, yes.
I also think that what were the robots that we saw when it was the cutscene from the show?
Oh, the little round guys?
They're not robots though. They're pieces of computer chips, right?
So there's two.
Are they actual microchips?
So there are sprites. The lore of the show, there are sprites. Enzo Matrix, and Bob are all sprites. Bob is a guardian. They're like the humanoid people,
And we're talking about the little guys.
I'm talking about
who
the
look like Tetris blocks.
The little round guys. There's little circle guys, and then there are the 3 blocked individuals that have one eye.
Yeah.
And my favorite one is the doctor that works for Megabyte.
You're going to have to put up graphics for this.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're not going to be able to count on this game to show us what we're talking about.
It's the doctor that works for Megabyte, and a large, heavy thing lands on his fingers, and he goes... My digits! And I never forgot it.
Hilarious.
Continue without saving? Yeah, I'm never playing this again. Reboot.
There's a pretty good indie band
Reboot. Come on.
Digits in the 80s and 90s. That was pretty cool.
My digits.
Did
you watch the show? I loved the show.
Like I said, I remembered his little thing, and I remembered him working on the car, and I remember the kid with the backwards hat, and I remember the bad guy who looked like Zed from Toy Story.
Yeah. So after season 1, there was an animation.
But yeah, the lore and could pick right back up you just stopped watching this before we started playing.
I watched it last week.
I watched this in 1996.
I've watched it. All of this is on YouTube. You can just watch
well,
it.
that makes better. That makes more sense.
If
That's
you
a
wanna,
little more plausible for.
if you want to watch it, it's been uploaded to YouTube. No one cared. No one's like, don't do it.
I definitely acquired a pirated copy of Men in Black, the animated series, though, so definitely no judgment.
Your hands were tied. They never made one.
They never released Men in Black the series.
Right. So, but they released like season 1 on DVD.
Yeah, it's like
or was it a volume?
It's like
one?
a 1-volume deal.
I hate the volume 1 because it's like, is it seasoned? Well, it's they're curly fries, but they're not seasoned.
I had to double check because the Freakazoid DVD is also volumes. It's volume 1 and 2. Volume 2 being the rare one. I have a copy, a legitimate copy of both volume 1 and 2, but I had to double check because I was like, is this all of them or is there some volume 3 action happening? What's going on?
Sure.
Nope, there were only ever 24 episodes of Freakazoid.
All right.
So I have them all. That is done. It's finished.
Whoa!
I have all like 53 or whatever episodes of Men in Black, the series. That's now done. What I'm looking into are two things. I'm looking into the Drew Carey show, which again never really released outside of a volume of like a best of, partially because of music rights and stuff like that. They just couldn't license it for DVD.
Yeah, I get it.
But
That's
there
like
are
the-
ways to procure that on DVD.
Some movies are expensive to make just because of licensing. I know that in Kong Skull Island, the first half hour there are 5 licensed songs.
Oh yeah,
and I
sure.
bet that wasn't cheap. And they're all the Vietnam songs.
Well,
you know the ones.
Yeah, all the Vietnam.
All the
songs.
Vietnam hits.
I bought MTV finally put out the complete Daria on DVD a few years back.
Oh, cool. Right on.
And I bought that because it also includes the 2 TV movies. Is It Fall Yet and Is It College Yet? But the way they were finally able to do that is because they were like, look, first things first, we changed a bunch of the music. Yes, we realized a big part of Daria is that it had all these great songs. Well, back in the day, MTV had the license to run that.
Yeah.
If we put it out on DVD, it just wouldn't be possible to get any of that stuff. So rather than, nothing, which is what you've gotten for years, we changed the music so it's sound-alikes and stuff. So you just get the music cues that sound like 90s songs. You know what they're going for.
Sure. Pause real quick. I fucked up. I should have saved my game because I died. And I
Hilarious.
can't load the game now.
You know what you should load?
I didn't think that I would die.
Beast Wars.
All right.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Hey, Freakazoid, wanna go out for a mint?
Okay.
They don't have Drew Carey show, and they don't have Better Off Ted. They made DVDs for both seasons of Better Off Ted, which was a great show.
Wait, was Better Off Ted the one that was really surreal?
It was a little surreal.
With the guy from Cabin Boy?
Oh, no.
No, you know what I'm talking about, right?
That's Chris Elliott,
Yes.
and he was in a show where he eventually died every episode.
He died
didn't
every episode. Or at least a few episodes, his character just
What is it
straight
called?
up
Like The
died.
Lives of Chuck or something like that? Oh, damn it. Now I'm going to have to look into that because I know what you're talking about.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, only because it hurts my brain when I can't pull up trivia like that.
I'm loving these PS1 cutscenes, though, because they're just scenes from the show.
It
So-
actually looks pretty good in this context, yeah.
Right, it works. The resolution is a little downgraded, but not much because the resolution of these shows back on TV was shitty. Starscream's a pterodactyl in this one. That's pretty good. He's a flyer still.
Get a Life came out in 1990.
That's it.
Chris Elliott was a 30-year-old paperboy, which right off the bat, I'm like, this is a great show.
Pathetic.
I think they did put it out on DVD, though, just if you wanted to know.
Well, yeah, it's got a cult following. It's...
And the Drew Carey show does.
I don't like that flame effect. That's unnerving.
That's not a very good flame effect.
Are we going to be Maximals or Predacons? Maximals? Predacons. Maximals? Predacons. Can I be Megatron right away? Urban Night Attack. I've had those before.
Yeah, 2012 Shout Factory released both seasons of Get a Life. Highly recommended. Very funny.
I can be Megatron. Yes.
You know why we liked it, right?
No.
Because you know who was responsible for a lot of the writing and stuff aside from Chris Elliott?
Okay, yeah.
Was David Merkin, who was a big guy on The Simpsons.
Oh, sure.
Around the same time.
That makes sense.
Same
Yeah.
with The Critic. The Critic was created by 2 guys from The Simpsons.
Oh, this looks like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, you can only... So there's no... I think there's a strafe. This is before there were 2 sticks.
No.
So you got to use the triggers for strafing.
Garbage.
Otherwise, he just does this little thing where he's like, I'm scooting I'm scooting.
I called it right though.
Can I turn
about
into
8 minutes of this.
Can I turn into a
Yeah.
T-Rex?
Can you
Yes.
transform? You mean?
Outstanding. Oh, he's thick.
It's
Fucking Barney. That is just Barney. He didn't have a green stripe in the show.
any other color.
His-
Make a dinosaur any other color.
Even
scheme.
his feet look like Barney's feet from the show.
or the Joker in dinosaur form.
So the thing about this game is that when you're in beast mode, you can't attack,
Yeah.
but
I
you
know.
have, which is dumb because he's a fucking T-Rex. He can still bite shit, right?
Yeah, that's half the appeal of being a T-Rex in your other form.
Is biting shit or whacking stuff with your tail.
Yeah.
Because one hand is a tail and the other hand is the head.
Ugh.
And I go, does the head talk? Does the hand head talk sometimes? Does he talk out of his hand head?
That'd be hilarious.
Nope, just a gun.
I would do bits if I was him.
Right.
Like, I would just do like Sodite.
Yes! Just fucking with Starscream?
That's funny. What's he gonna do? He's such a beta. Fucking Starscream.
Oh,
who
let's see. Okay.
who was the one who had the extra little guy in his chest? Was it
Oh,
Soundwave had the
I
little
think
guy in his chest?
Soundwave or Shockwave? I get them confused.
It was Soundwave.
Soundwave had the cassette player that turned into a tiger or something.
Yeah, who was the little guy that was the cassette?
I thought he was like a cat. Like he
Was
turned
he a
into
cat?
I thought he was cat-like.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, right? His cassette tape turns into a cat.
No, but this was before like cats and stuff.
The little guys were in the second Transformers movie.
Not the racist guys.
and
no,
it was
no.
and it sucked.
It was just terrible.
I was like, Jesus.
And everybody says like, well, back then. It's like, no.
What do you
we
mean back
knew
then?
Back then.
Back then, it's post 9/11. There's no back then.
I hate it when because people talk about that about like comedies and stuff from that time when they're like, yeah, well, there was a lot of like gay panic humor or whatever, and it's like, yeah, and we knew it was wrong and people complained about it then. You jocks just didn't listen.
Megatron's got a fat ass. Look at that thing.
I mean, I can't
Yeah.
help but
Back it up, Megatron.
Sound
Turn into a
wave.
thing. If I had the sound turned up, you'd hear the voice acting. They didn't get a single voice actor from the show for the game. And the voice actors that tried to emulate the voices for the game they fucking phoned it in.
Well,
He just says, I'm Megatron.
I am he.
Notice, I'm the purple T-Rex one. Fear me. It's just his head talking this whole time. What are these things? They're not from the show. I haven't fought a single Maximal yet.
Yeah, what's going on? I really like the Generation 1 Soundwave because he really did just look like a blue boombox robot.
Yeah, it was cool.
And obviously Frank Welker doing the voice for all the Transformers and stuff back then was pretty dope.
Yeah.
But I cannot find
I was reading about
much information about the cassette tape itself.
I was reading about Transformers and how, people now say, I can't believe they killed Optimus Prime. And I go, I can. All right. They were trying to sell toys. They had a new toy line. They had a movie. Optimus was in the way of their new toy line. Rodimus Prime was going to be the new guy. Obviously, it backfired a little bit.
He was an alligator in Beast Wars.
Rodimus was?
Sorry, I'm just reading more.
Oh, that's
about
interesting.
Soundwave.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're still on Soundwave.
I'm just listening to Soundwave.
Can I get out of here?
No, but I mean, look,
Oh, I see. There's a
there's
platform.
a lot of just Transformers everything. There's
Sure, yeah.
cartoons, there's the live action movies, there's comics.
Yeah, it's designed to
There's-
sell toys. That's all it was designed to do.
It's a toy line with a backstory.
Optimus was old news. Rodimus was in.
So yeah, you're gonna have a passing of the torch in anything that large,
All right, the steam vents probably are bad for me.
they probably hurt you.
Yeah, I better turn into beast mode.
Why don't you beast out and just run around for a little while, so we can watch that ass.
All right. Over here, like, I don't want. Please don't make me do it.
I'm gonna
Do
look
it.
up more. I'm gonna look up more DVDs of old shows that we can order.
Okay.
What's one you want to order?
Oh, I have to think about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, here we played it. I've never even looked for it. Is Reboot on DVD?
You know what?
I never checked. I just know it's on YouTube, so I don't need to buy it.
Yeah.
And at this point, YouTube would have shut it down if they had a problem with it.
I feel like there's probably a DVD of something.
Sure.
It may not be complete, but we'll find out.
Oh, that's it, huh? Mission failed. One wrong move.
You're
Fuck
dead.
me.
You're dead, just like the real dinosaurs.
He stepped in that tar pit, La Brea tar pit, and said, fuck, fuck, fuck! And there he went.
I do want to go to the tar pits. That would be fun.
The T-Rex was buried with Sylvester Stallone. Let's back out of here. We're going to quit the game.
We're quitting all this.
I got one more thing I want to do. We're going to play as Maximal.
Maximal?
Yes. We're going to play Urban Retaliation.
The gorilla guy?
And we're going to play as Optimus Primal.
Primal, yeah.
And the only reason that I want to do this is because he says,
Well, that's just prime.
They're okay.
I look like I gotta take a shit.
You really do seem like you're kind of hot stepping it there.
I gotta go.
I'm just gonna sneak past you guys here. Get to the bathroom real quick. Back this way? Huh? Behind the bar? Okay, all right. No, that's the women's. All right, headed this way.
I gotta poop. I gotta. Monkey Man.
Oh, I'm gonna go ape shit on this.
Oh, this is awful. All right, we're going.
That's terrible.
I'm done with this
The
shit.
toys were cool though.
Jesus. Imagine if you got stuck with this
I refuse to.
For a whole weekend.
I will not imagine that, sir. My parents loved me.